fine. Welcome back to this another episode with me, Arshi. I hope you guys are doing good. And I think, there are multiple videos on the channel जहाँ पे हम experience from students लेकर आते हैं. There are multiple questions whenever you aspire for CAT, that or any other entrance examination. And her student, either they are looking for a tier 1 college or a tier 2 college or a tier 3 college, questions बहुत सारे होते हैं. So today we have somebody, to answer all your questions which is related to a specific college. He's passed out from GIMS Goa. And बहुत सारे students GIMS को अपनी list में रखते हैं because GIMS जो है वो profile based calls भी देता है और साथ ही साथ they have this achievers round also and also this percentile based calls also. But before getting into college and Sarthak's experience, I want you to introduce yourself so that they'll get to have an idea that, what this conversation will be all about. Yeah, over to you, Sarthak. So, Sarthak, I just want you to introduce yourself so that, they'll get to have an idea that what we're going to discuss in this episode. Yeah, over to you.
Yeah, so basically I am from Sarangpur. It's a town in Madhya Pradesh. Then I did my graduation from Indore. I graduated and I did BCom honors. Then I joined Goa Institute of Management for my MBA. And after that, I got placed in a company called Product Solutions. And then it was a campus placement, and then I joined switched to a company called Nagarkot Forwarders. It's a logistics company and I'm in the founder's office role here.
So Sarthak, first question, I am also from Madhya Pradesh. I'm based out of Bhopal, right? And a question here that you went for your MBA right after your graduation or you have some sort of experience? And BCom honors?
No.
जितना मैं समझती हूँ स्टूडेंट हैव मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस कि ठीक है सीए कर सकते हैं, सीएस कर सकते हैं, गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स एंड और भी ऑप्शंस होते हैं. तो व्हाई एमबीए, व्हाई यू ऑप्ट फॉर एमबीए ओनली स्पेसिफिकली?
Well, one of the things is that I want to start my own venture somewhere in the future, and I think for that MBA is the course. I mean, it's masters in business administration. So you understand a lot about business. You read. For 2 years, you are just reading about businesses, so it gets inculcated in your brain, and you think very logically. You think from a business perspective, and I have seen that change in myself. So yeah, that's why I decided to MBA.
Okay, and how was your CAT journey? I mean, obviously, हर student जब CAT दे रहा होता है, तो वो सोचता है कि मुझे IIMS जाना है. IIMS में भी कैटेगरी होती है, तो वो कैसी जर्नी थी? एंड माइंड में ये थॉट नहीं आया था कि एक साल ड्रॉप लेके look for some other colleges? How you made the decision कि ठीक है, मैंने CAT दे दिया, I don't want to retake, right? And इसी की basis पे आप look for colleges, because बहुत सारे students stuck होते हैं इस point पे कि ठीक है, I got this percentile, now what to do, whether should join college or should I take a drop? So how you made this decision?
Well, basically it was the COVID time, so I started preparing for it on my own. I studied by myself, watching YouTube videos, and I got mock exams from Time Institute. So I basically, most of it was self-preparation. I gave a lot of mock exams. And because I couldn't even go to coaching institutes physically. It was not possible. It was the COVID time. So that was, kind of my preparation. And GIM, prominent private colleges. And I really didn't want to go for another drop. I really didn't want to go for a drop. So that's why I decided to pursue MBA. And in any case, like down the line, I want to start a business of my own. So, it really didn't matter a lot. I mean, as long as it was a good college, that's what really mattered to me. And
yeah, so I just want to ask this question. I mean, if you're comfortable answering, what was your CAT percentile? I mean, to get GIMS Goa through CAT or through that or something like that? Because they accept CAT, ZAT.
No, I got accepted through ZAT, and my percentile in ZAT was 89 percentile. And I think the cutoff that year was around 82 or 83 or so.
Now my next question is, BCom कर लिया, जितना MP में हम colleges देखते हैं, it's more of theoretical, बहुत ज़्यादा practical नहीं है. Then आप कैसे elaborate करोगे अपने 2 साल का MBA का experience at GIMS Goa? क्या changes आपने देखे अपने graduation के बाद और अपने post graduation के बाद? And how was your journey? I mean, how it was different, and GIMS Goa का experience कैसा था?
It was a very I would say a very productive and a learning experience for me. For 2 years, I saw many changes in myself. Earlier, when I did my BCom, it really didn't affect me very much in my way. I mean, it wasn't very, what do you say, it didn't make me learn a lot of things because it was undergraduation. But in post graduation, you're constantly learning about new subjects. Like every semester, every trimester, we would have around 7 to 8 subjects, and our syllabus was very jam packed. So we would be learning different kinds of subjects. So you get to look at a business very holistically from an marketing perspective, from a finance perspective, from an operations perspective, and HR as well. So somebody who wants to in the future start their own business or even work in an organization, it's good to understand all of these, so you would understand how a company actually works, and it prepares you for your journey in the corporate as well, because in corporate also your schedule it I mean, you have to work, and there's a schedule, so it really prepares you for your job as well.
I also have this question, right? बहुत सारे student gyms को select मतलब they have this college in their list. And obviously आपका 89 percentile था, तो उस percentile पे और भी similar kind of colleges you must have in your list, right? So आपने gyms ही क्यों choose किया? And after completing your PGDM, I mean, what do you think? Was it a right decision? Because definitely आप जिनके साथ preparation कर रहे होगे वो दूसरे कॉलेजेस में भी होंगे, और जिन कंपनी में आप प्लेस होंगे वहां पे भी दूसरे कॉलेजेस के स्टूडेंट होंगे, तो why Gym Goa, right? And whether it was worth it or not.
No, I would definitely say that it was worth it. I have seen a lot of change in myself and for the better. I have met a lot of like-minded people and connections that would be for a lifetime. I've learned a lot from them. Has been a very holistic development for me. Like there are people from all around the country, so you get to learn a lot, and it enhances you not in just in terms of education, but peer learning is also, I think, a very good thing that MBA gives you. And it's a residential campus, so 2 years you are with your colleagues together, you're with people of different cultures, so that also improves your personality. And coming to your first question, I also got admitted into SIBM Bangalore. So I mean, if I say like in terms of placements, GIM and SIBM Bangalore, I think are kind of similar. But in terms of the legacy, I think GIM has a legacy of around 30 plus years, while SIBM is a relatively newer college. So I mean, for me, it was a no-brainer in choosing GIM. So yeah, I mean, some of my seniors there had already studied from GM, so I had heard reviews from them as well. So I kind of decided to go ahead with.
You specified that जिस साल आप enroll हुए थे उस साल the cutoff was 82 percentile and you scored 89. तो obviously आप काफी ज़्यादा stand out कर रहे थे, तो आपको call तो आ गया होगा. So second level of shortlisting क्या होती है, किस तरह के questions पूछे जाते हैं? Because if I talk about MBA colleges, it's not only about कि आपने CAT में score कर लिया और आपको college मिल गया, right? मैं अभी recently एक post देख रही थी, एक स्टूडेंट है जिसका IIM बैंगलोर में हो गया एंड IIM काशीपुर में अभी उसकी 100 वेटिंग चल रही है, right? So I mean every college have different sort of shortlisting criteria. So what about gyms, कि ठीक है meeting the eligibility criteria, आपको call आ गया, what next?
Certain colleges have a GD and writing assessment test and then a personal interview. When I was, I mean, during my admission process, it was a writing assessment test. So I gave an essay writing test, and then when I cleared that, we had the personal interview round. So that there was an interview. Now it was COVID time, so we didn't have to go to Goa. It was online. But earlier, I mean, if you like apply now, then you probably have to go to Goa and physically give an interview. But for me, it was online. So that interview ran for around 20 to 25 minutes. And it was mostly about, what my interests and my hobbies and my passions were. So it revolved around football for me. The interviewer was also a football fan, so it kind of was very lucky for me in that regards. And then you give your interview, and for after a few weeks, then you will get a waiting number. So my waiting number was around 41, and then in a few days the list. After a few days, they will again update the list, and your waiting number might get lesser and lesser, and then so I think after the second or third list, I got an offer from them. Okay.
So my next question is कि ठीक है आप आपका एडमिशन हो गया, 2 साल का एक्सपीरियंस, यू मेंशन दैट इट वाज गुड, आप काफी ज्यादा लर्निंग होती है, जो एनवायरनमेंट होता है, आई मीन डाइवर्सिटी, काफी डिफरेंट स्ट्रीम के
Right.
स्टूडेंट होते हैं, पर एक कंपटीशन भी होता है। बहुत सारे हम स्टोरीज पढ़ते हैं, हम स्टूडेंट्स के इंटरव्यू लेते हैं, तो वी गॉट टू नो कि यू हैव क्लब्स, कमिटीज, राइट, एक प्रेशर कि हमें कॉलेज से एक अच्छा प्लेसमेंट लेकर जाना है, बिकॉज आप एक बहुत बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे हो। दो हर कॉलेज 100%
Right.
प्लेसमेंट बोलता है, बट बीइंग वेरी ऑनेस्ट 100% जैसा कुछ नहीं होता। कॉलेज कंपनीज लेके आ सकता है, बट एंड ऑफ द डे वहां पे भी कंपटीशन है, बिकॉज यू आर स्टार्टिंग विद द गुड पीपल, राइट। वहां पे और ज्यादा कंपटीशन है, बिकॉज सभी अपनी फील्ड में अच्छे हैं, दैट इज द रीजन दे आर एबल टू मेक इट टू द कॉलेज। सो आपको क्या लगता है, व्हाट थिंग्स स्टूडेंट्स कैन डू, जिन्होंने अभी 24 में एनरोल किया है, जो 25 में एनरोल करेंगे, अगर उन्हें प्लेसमेंट पर्सपेक्टिव एक अच्छा प्लेसमेंट चाहिए ताकि वो अपनी फीस को जस्टिफाई कर पाए, अपने कॉलेज को जस्टिफाई कर पाए, बिकॉज दो वी लुक फॉर अदर थिंग्स, फैकल्टीज कैसे हैं, एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर कैसा है, बट एंड ऑफ द डे जो हर स्टूडेंट की प्रायोरिटी होती है कि ठीक है, आई हैव मेड दिस मच ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, आई वांट आरओआई, एक अच्छा प्रोफाइल, एक अच्छी कंपनी। सो हाउ समबडी कैन कैपिटलाइज, जो एस्पिरेंट्स एस्पायर कर रहे हैं, दे आर जस्ट into their college, so how they can capitalize?
Some of the practical tips, that I can say is get better at Microsoft Excel. That is something that is required in corporate, whether it is HR or whatever role you get. It's not just related to finance. Although in finance, Excel is kind of becoming obsolete right now. You have to learn Python, R, and all of these languages as well. But yeah, I think Excel is something that you should learn. You should get better at. And I think in our college, in the starting for 2 weeks, they gave us Excel training as well. But you have to practice it yourself. You should get better at it. And also making, I think, presentations that should come naturally to you. Although you will get that practice, because in every subject you will have to make a lot of presentations. So there's that. And also, like, as you are, if you're joining as a fresher, then you obviously don't have any sort of concrete work experience that you can talk about. So, and they already know that. So you should better, talk about, if you have done some sort of internships, should, prepare on how you will speak about them. Second thing you should do is, if you have certain interests or hobbies or passions, you should be very concrete about them, how you are going to speak. Because, for example, I had one interview where I talked that, I learned how to play the guitar during COVID era. So the interviewer got, interested in that, and they asked me a lot of questions based on that. Now, because I was prepared and I actually had done that, so I was able to answer their questions. But if you just say something like, I am interested in that, but you're not able to back it up, then it can really, cause a bad impression. So, don't be very pressurized in terms of, because they also know you have not done a lot in your life. You're just starting out if you're a fresher. So, whatever your interests are, what your hobbies are, you should be prepared in terms of how you will present it. To your presentation skills and your communication skills should, you should really practice on that in terms of interviews, because you will be going through a lot of interviews. And I mean, colleges do help in all of that, but you will have to prepare personally as well.
मैं अगर आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछूं, you just have to answer it in one statement. What do you think? What recruiters really look for in a candidate, right? आपने दो तरह के इंटरव्यूज दिए होंगे, एक वो इंटरव्यू जिसमें आप सिलेक्ट हो गए होंगे, और एक वो इंटरव्यूज भी होंगे जहाँ पे you was not able to make it. But you been there in the industry for almost more than 1 year, right? एक एनालिसिस होता है कि ठीक है, this is what recruiters look for. And यहाँ पे ये मेरी मिस्टेक्स थी, एंड अगर आप ये नहीं करोगे तो you'll be able to make it. And ये जो है, जो मैंने क्या, जिसे you're sitting here, right? So yeah.
I mean, in terms of your CV, it should be a very kind of a professional CV. Like, you should mention what, if you have done work, for example, if you have 1 year of experience, so you should mention clearly like what you did and what the result of it was and how you got to it. So they want specific things from you. You cannot just be global in terms of what you say. And so, for example, if I say that I ran a marketing campaign using Zoho email, and it led to a lead generation of 15% earlier, which was 5% in a matter of 3 months. So it is very specific, right? I used Zoho and I did email marketing campaigns, and the result was that it increased from 5% to 15%. So you shouldn't be global in your approach. You should have specific things that you are able to mention, specific achievement that you can mention to your recruiters. uh, and you can obviously do that when even in your MBAs you would be part of a lot of projects. And uh, now these projects you can all during when you are making that project, when you are in that project, you can write down what you have done and what the end result of the project is. So you get better in presenting it during interviews as well. So yeah, recruiters look for someone who is not uh, trying to be global or something. They have some specific skills and are able to articulate well like what they have done. Because if you have really done something like in terms of a project, then you are probably able to present it well in terms of in your interviews as well. Yeah, and also you should they will, I mean, I think 90% of them would ask you what is your where do you see yourself in 5 years, or where do you see yourself in 2 years. So you should be clear on it. Although it can change, obviously, it can change the future. But when they ask you, they want to know what your vision is. So because they do not want someone who is constantly is trying to change their careers or something. And they want someone who to stick with their company as well. Because to hire a person, to hire an employee, it incurs a cost on the company as well. They don't want to continuously keep hiring for the same position as well. So they want to see someone who is going to stick around and grow with the company as well. So that is something.
So what do you think? What is the right approach to answer this question, where you see yourself in next 5 years?
So if you're for example, if you're interviewing for a marketing company, so you can say something like that: I want to build upon my skills, and because as a fresher I want to learn from the best in the industry. So basically you're calling the company the best in the industry, and I want to progress in this field in my career, and basically build a career in this domain. And along the way try, because I will be in a very nascent stage in my career, so learning is something that I'm very open to. And so at every stage I would be looking to learn as much as I can, and want to gain a lot of corporate experience to develop my skills. And yeah, something along the lines with this would be fine, I think.
एक और क्वेश्चन है कि आई इंटरेक्ट विद लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स, आई ट्रैवल टू लॉट ऑफ कॉलेजेस. दो तरह के स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, वो जो फ्रेशर एंड राइट आफ्टर देयर ग्रेजुएशन दे स्टार्टेड डूइंग एमबीए. ठीक है, बहुत सारे एस्पिरेशंस रहते हैं हमने, क्योंकि अमन एमबीए कर लिया, आप एकदम मैनेजर बन जाओगे, लाइफ सॉर्टेड हो जाएगी. ठीक है, एंड एक वो स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं जो ऑलरेडी कॉर्पोरेट से काम करके आए होते हैं, उनको रियलिटी पता होती है. तो आपको क्या लगता है, यू देयर इन द इंडस्ट्री, एक्सपेक्टेशन वर्सेस रियलिटी, कितना डिफरेंस है दोनों में?
I think it's a very good question. So one thing is that you need to have some patience when you get into corporate, because from the first day onwards you might not get what you want. You might not be able to work on the projects that you want. For example, if you have let's say if you want to if you are into marketing and you have done your majors in marketing, and now your goal is to create campaigns and run campaigns for a company. So that is probably not going to happen in your first job, because if you are working for $1 billion company, there are brand managers already working in the industry, and they are going to be your seniors. So they are going to set some campaigns, and you probably have to do a bit of grunt work in the. So yeah, you were asking me about expectations versus reality. So one thing that I would say is, you come into an MBA college, and you have a lot of expectations that I would be able to do this, I'll be able to do that, and you will be in but probably not in your first job, or not from the first day onwards. You need to have a bit of patience. Sometimes you will have to do some grunt work, but initially you might not get what you want. But if you just stick around, you have some patience, if you take some right career decisions and right change of companies, then definitely you will you will be able to do what you always wanted. But again, from the first day onwards, if you might some expectations, they might get shattered a bit in reality. That's my honest opinion.
ओके, मेरा एक और क्वेश्चन है. 2024 जो है वो एक तरह से रिसेशन ईयर रहा है, एंड दो हर कॉलेज प्लेसमेंट रिपोर्ट में 100% ही दिखा रहा है, बट देयर वर लाइक एन नंबर ऑफ एनोनिमस feedbacks coming from all the top colleges कि कंपनीज ने हायर किया बट वो कंपनीज एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती, प्लेस पैकेजेस को लेके, अनप्लेस स्टूडेंट्स, एंड स्पेशली जब आप इतना बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे होते हो तो एक चीज़ है, तो स्टूडेंट के मन में है जो 25 में एनरोल करेंगे कि क्या एमबीए करना इस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे सही डिसीजन होगा, बिकॉज यू आर देयर इन द इंडस्ट्री, यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स वर्किंग इन डिफरेंट कंपनीज जो आपके साथ आपके बैचमेट्स होंगे, और सब जगह की एक सिचुएशन, एक आइडिया हो
Right.
जाता है जब आप किसी इंडस्ट्री में काम कर रहे होते हो. तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, दिस इज द राइट टाइम टू गो फॉर एमबीए, और वेदर इट इज वर्थ इट, बिकॉज कई स्टूडेंट्स के दिमाग में ये भी है कि हम बहुत सारे पोस्ट देखते हैं, आर्टिकल्स देखते हैं कि इट्स बेटर कि एमबीए की जगह आप ये शॉर्ट टर्म कोर्सेज कर सकते हो एंड यू कैन गो विद दैट काइंड ऑफ प्रोफेशन, या फिर बहुत सारे दूसरे ऑप्शंस हैं. तो एआई आ चुका है तो एमबीए वालों स्टूडेंट्स को कहीं ना कहीं उसका भी हैम्पर है, तो आपका क्या ओपिनियन है?
Yeah. So yeah, you were asking me about, is it considering recession and all, is it the people have some doubts if should they go for an MBA or something. Yeah. So basically, it's very cyclic in nature. Corporate the recession kind of they are saying that this is the worst recession after 2008. When the economy crashed in 2008, this is the worst time to get a job. So yeah, it has been very difficult, and I have gotten some reviews from my juniors as well. They were not. It was very difficult for them to get placement. They had to hold out to till very last. So yeah, it was very difficult this year. I'm not going to say that it wasn't. And but this has been going for a year around, I think. And so this happens in corporate. For example, like for 5 years, it would be very good. There are a lot of hiring. People would be getting hired for a more than their market rates and stuff. That's what happened after 2020. So people were hired for double their salaries, what they were asking, and they were also getting poached by other companies for double their salaries as well. So this has all kind of, it kind of resets once in a while, and this is that reset this year. So, but again, things always get better, and things will get better. And I think 2025 is actually 2024, I think, is the best time to do an MBA, because this recession, it will get over, and then when it gets over in like a year or so, or in 6 months, we never know how long it's gonna go, but like till I think by the mid of 2025 or any time, it will certainly get better. And when it gets better, again the hiring spree will start. So if a person is wanting to join an MBA by 2025, when they graduate, it will be 2027. And I think opportunities will be better as compared to what they are now. And it is going to get better. That's for sure.
Okay, fine. So I think I'm done with my questions. Any last suggestion you wanted to give to all these viewers?
Yeah. So I just have one thing in mind. When you're preparing for your MBA examinations, try and give as many mock exams as you can, because you can solve a lot of questions while you're practicing and stuff. But in the examination hall, you are under pressure, you are under time pressure, and a lot of people are sitting around you. So getting used to that pressure is really necessary. So I would say give a lot of mock exams, and it's not just that you can give mock exams after you're completing your syllabus only. Start giving at least 6 months before your examination. So you get, and slowly you can increase your frequency, like from once a week, so you can do twice a week, and then every alternate day or every day you can give an exam. It will certainly help you, and it helped me as well. So yeah, I think that is an advice that I.
Thank you so much, Sarthak, for your time. Right, and once this video will be posted, we'll share you the link. So yeah, looking forward. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for inviting me. It's an honor.